What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some more Fusion Cup practice battles. In this video, I am going to be using FROSLASS a little bit and kind of seeing if FROSLASS has any viability within this Fusion Cup meta. It's rated pretty high up there on PvP, the rankings list for the Fusion Cup meta. However, it has the same problems that it always has. It is very glassy. Ice typing is just horrible defensive-wise. You're weak to so many things. Weak to fire, weak to fighting, but luckily with the ghost type, it gives you some resistance there against fighting. But the fire weakness is really brutal. And your even neutral damage that you're going to be taking with FROSLASS is going to be hitting you so hard. You're absolutely going to need to be committing shields. But one of the upsides for sure using FROSLASS is you're almost always going to be able to draw a shield out of your opponent. Because Avalanche and Shadow Ball, which are the two charge moves that I'm using in this, both of those hit very hard, even when they're hitting for neutral damage. So it's a major threat for sure. You can see even against Charizard, Charizard is fire and flying, so Avalanche is going to be hitting it for neutral. It's going to draw a lot of damage. So in that first little matchup, I was able to draw a shield, which is great. So these battles are against Fonzie17. You've seen him on the channel a lot. He's got my Venusaur against my Whiscash, which is horrible, but because shields are down, I'm able to get to this Blizzard, and it's going to be able to one-shot this Venusaur. So because of my FROSLASS opening, it put me at a shield advantage for the rest of this match, which allowed me to pull off that play. It's always nice when you're able to pull off a Blizzard. I fast swap into my FROSLASS here. This is most likely going to take me out. And then I'm hoping that I just barely have enough energy with my Whiscash to throw this Mud Bomb. I do crazy close first match. You can see I survived with very minimal HP there. I'm going to be bringing you guys a bunch of videos trying out different Pokemon within this Fusion Cup. So make sure to always leave your comments down below of which Pokemon you're interested in seeing. I believe Piloswine is going to be the next video here. And I was having much less success with Piloswine while I was filming that today versus FROSLASS. FROSLASS, the coverage you get with Shadow Ball and Avalanche is just super nice, but you're very weak, and so you're always within danger of being farmed down by the fire types especially. You're also going to be weak to Steel and Rock, both of which are present within this cup. So there's a lot of weaknesses you got to watch out for when using FROSLASS. But again, you're able to apply shield pressure, which is really great. So I believe I use FROSLASS mostly as an opener within these matches. I have a huge shield advantage right now, up 2 shields. This Charizard is definitely going to be throwing Dragon Claws at me. I'm able to get a Dragon Breath in between those 2 Dragon Claws, which is always really great when that happens. I'm going to let both my shields go, and I was going to commit to a fast move farm down there, but because my switch clock is not up, so this is kind of a mistake here. I should not have dumped my energy here. I should have just done a couple more Dragon Breaths, then swapped into my FROSLASS. I'm trying to get to a Shadow Ball because that would definitely one-shot this Bronzong at that health. He goes for the Bulldoze. It takes me out because FROSLASS is not tanky at all because I was so slow to that switch in. Huge mistake on my part, and I dumped my Sky Attack energy into Bronzong. Really dumb play. Shields are down. I bring in Poliwrath, and I'm able to get to this Dynamic Punch before he's able to get to Psyshock, which is huge because it's able to take out the Bronzong. In comes his Venusaur. This Frenzy Plant is going to absolutely wreck me. But I still have my Altaria. I'm hoping I can get to a Sky Attack. I'm barely able to because I over-farmed against the Charizard matchup, which is really good for me. Allows me to take this matchup. He still has Charizard, and my Dragon Breath is barely able to get it down before it's able to get a Dragon Claw. Another insanely close game. I'm pretty sure all the matches in this video are like crazy close, when I was filming this, battling on the couch, I was like, holy crap, those were some really close games here. So this is not too bad of a matchup. There is no sense in going for an avalanche bait here. I believe it only saves you like maybe 2 powder snows. And if it doesn't work out, it's going to do hardly any damage because Bronzong, its steel typing is going to be resisting that move. So I'm just going straight up double Shadow Ball here. I am going to commit a shield because he committed one. I'm assuming he is going to be close to another Psyshock. With all that energy banked, I swap into my Alolan Marowak, hoping to catch a Psyshock, and I do, which is great. If that was a Bulldoze, it would have been much worse for me. Alolan Marowak is a good answer to Charizard. I'm totally fine with this matchup here. I had a slight energy advantage. Definitely have a health disadvantage though, that's for sure, because I ate that Psyshock. Dragon Claw is not going to take me out, and he might be able to totally farm me down now. But instead, he throws his energy here, which is way better for me. He was probably worried that I would be able to get to another Shadow Ball, which is understandable because Charizard is not tanky at all, and that would definitely wreck Charizard. I bring in my Altaria. It would not be smart to bring in my FROSLASS here because I want to save it for the Bronzong matchup. Altaria is going to be kind of hard-walled by Bronzong, so I do not want to be in that scenario. But he switches into his Bronzong. I make the same stupid play. Man, I did not learn from the previous match. Don't do this, everyone. Why would you dump a Sky Attack into Bronzong when you got a FROSLASS sitting there with all this energy? Very big mistake. This Shadow Ball is easily going to take it out. But now he's got Venusaur in the back, and because I'm so glassy, he's able to Vine Whip me down, which is absolutely horrible. I know he still has Charizard, and if I remember correctly, it still has energy banked up. I do commit my last shield here. I can't afford it being a Sludge Bomb, but now I overfarm a little bit. I'm counting the Vine Whips there. Go for the Sky Attack. This is going to take out the Venusaur, and I believe I have barely enough health to survive a Dragon Claw from a Charizard. We are going to see... Oh my goodness. This is most likely going to be a Dragon Claw. And it is barely not enough to take me out, and I get to a Sky Attack with literally 1 HP remaining. Insanely close. Holy cow. Very good match there. FROSLASS gave me a decent advantage there within the lead again when I was against Bronzong. I threw the Shadow Ball, he shielded it. I made the same stupid mistake of dumping a Sky Attack into Bronzong. Do not do that. I cannot believe I did that for a second time. That is embarrassing, but you guys get to see the real raw footage here, all the mistakes included. So this is not the best scenario, but I am going to be able to threaten shields with Avalanche against this Charizard. It's going to be hitting for a very strong neutral damage if it goes through. So boom, I get the shield advantage, and then I switch into my Alolan Marowak. Looking at his team, Whiscash would be a hard counter to Alolan Marowak, so I'm expecting Whiscash to come out and just totally punish me for this switch in, but it's looking like he did not bring it in this line of 3. Which is great. I shield a Blast Burn here, so he has dumped all of his energy into my Alolan Marowak. I overfarm just a little bit, and I'm going to go for a bait here because he is keeping Charizard in here for a long time. I'm assuming that whatever he has in the back, he does not want Marowak to be lined up against it. So for that reason, I successfully landed the bait. He lands a Blast Burn on me, and it was so stupid of me not to shield that because all that energy just went to waste. Huge mistake on my part again. But in practice matches, I tend to play very risky. And now check out this shield advantage I have again. I'm going to be able to one-shot this Venusaur. It's going to be amazing. Because of my shield advantage, and I was able to farm up a little bit with Mudshot. And now Whiscash is just going to go insane here on this Bronzong with these Mud Bombs. Hitting for super effective. Mud Bomb is a great move. You get stab on it, and Whiscash is so spammy with that Mud Shot energy generation. It's super nice. This shield advantage has really been playing to my favor in this matchup. These Fire Spins are really adding up, but I'm going to be able to get to this Avalanche before the Charizard's able to Fire Spin me down, and I'm going to be able to take this match. So I find that FROSLASS in the lead spot for me really works out nice. The powder snow energy generation, you can really outpace some of your opponents. And then you can throw your charge move, pretty much guarantee you're going to get a shield, and then maybe switch something in that might be a better counter to that Pokemon. Here's an interesting matchup right here. This is a positive matchup for me, but I would have to shield those Frenzy Plants if they came through, because FROSLASS is not going to resist grass. It's going to hurt a lot, so I would have to commit shields. But he switches out of that matchup, and now I get my Altaria on his Charizard, which I totally love this matchup. You can see how much damage the Dragon Claws do to Altaria, and I really don't think it's that impressive. You obviously don't get stab on it, and Altaria is super bulky, but it's just not something that really threatens me that much. I am gonna most likely commit a shield here and commit to a farm down. Nope, actually I just let it go, and I'm gonna maintain this shield advantage, which has seemed to be working out for me in the previous games, maintaining a shield advantage here. He goes for a fast switch into Bronzong, and now this Bronzong is switch locked against my Alolan Marowak, so I farm up a little bit extra there. I just have to be worried about the Bulldoze. I land the Bone Club, he lets it go through. Probably could have just went for the Shadow Ball there, and that would have one-shot it, but this is only a Psyshock. Couple more Fire Spins, but man, those confusions are really adding up because I'm not resisting it. Even though Ghost is super effective against Psychic, those confusions are not resisted by Ghost. And now I switch in my FROSLASS. I have a great shield advantage here. I do not want to eat a Frenzy Plant at all. It's going to do so much damage. Going for the Avalanche here, this is going to do a ridiculous amount of damage to Venusaur. Boom, so much damage. He's got Charizard in the back. And honestly, at this point, you could just commit to a Powder Snow farm down because he still is up a shield. This is obviously going to draw the shield. And most likely, yes, the Powder Snows will take it out there. Yeah, FROSLASS I think is definitely a decent option as like an anti-flyer pick within this cup. The thing that sucks is that because you don't have Steel as your typing like you would on an Alolan Sandslash, you're not resisting flying attacks. Even though you're going to be hitting for super effective, FROSLASS is not bulky at all, and so it's definitely not my cup of tea. Like for my anti-flyer, but I like to bring these videos to you guys so you can see some different matchups and see all these different Pokemon, because I have invested a lot of Stardust and TMs in getting like a bunch of different Pokemon within the Great League, like optimized for PvP, so let's put some use to them. So we went even on shields there, probably not the best scenario for me. Again, that FROSLASS versus Charizard matchup is relatively even. The Fire Spins hit me for so much damage, but the Avalanche does threaten shields. I get my Altaria's against this Bronzong again, really bad. I go for Dragon Pulse, which I believe is the more energy efficient move, but I could be wrong. Both Sky Attack and Dragon Pulse get stabbed, but they are both resisted by Bronzong. I need to double check the PV Pokesims after this, but that could have been a mistake on my part. This Bronzong is going to be able to take me out with his Psyshock, and that confusion damage is no joke. I bring in Marowak to farm up a little bit of energy, just one Fire Spin. He's got Whiscash in the back. This is absolutely horrible. He switches in Charizard. So now my only hope of clutching this game is, can I farm up enough energy to throw 2 Shadow Balls on the Whiscash? That's the only way that I can win this match. So I'm farming. I'm able to Fire Spin it down. Do I have enough energy here? Here goes the first Shadow Ball. If a Mud Bomb comes through, this is game over for sure. And you can see my energy there, 1 Fire Spin away from a Shadow Ball. So, pretty close there, but Fonzie takes that last match. Let me know what you think of FROSLASS, if it works for you. A little too glassy for me, but thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.